Star Trek. Picard's Todd Stashwick takes down Jonathan Frakes in hilarious rant. Star Trek. Picard's Todd Stashwick hilariously exposes the real Jonathan Frakes in a blisteringly funny, 100% tongue-in-cheek impromptu rant. Stashwick joined the Star Trek family as the abrasive Captain Liam Shaw in Star Trek Picard Season 3. Although audiences were incensed at Shaw at first, Stashwick's layered performance won doubters over. Meanwhile, Shaw had sound reason to dislike Frakes' Captain Will Riker and Patrick Stewart's Admiral Jean-Luc Picard. They were trying to hijack the USS Titan A from Shaw, its proper captain. Screen Rant was at STLV, Trek to Vegas for Star Trek Picard's panel with Todd Stashwick, Ashley Sharp-Chestnut, Jin Maley, Stephanie Tchaikovsky, Jonathan Del Arco, and Madeline Wise. When asked about working with his co-star and director Jonathan Frakes, Stashwick decided to tell the audience what Frakes is really like, citing how mean and handsy Jonathan is and that he smells like tuna fish. Check out the video of Stashwick's gut-busting takedown of Frakes below. Todd Stashwick's TLV panel stealing rant aside, Todd and Jonathan Frakes are close friends in real life. Stashwick told the STLV audience that he is probably closest to Frakes among his Star Trek Picard castmates and that they text each other frequently. Jonathan Frakes was also at STLV Trek to Vegas this year, but sadly he didn't appear in a panel with Stashwick to refute Todd's claims that he smells like a deli. A few hours after Todd Stashwick's Star Trek Picard panel, he made another show-stopping STLV appearance by performing with the Action Figures band. Check it out below. Of course, Todd Stashwick was asked about his hopes to reprise Liam Shaw in Star Trek Picard's proposed spin-off, Star Trek Legacy. While Star Trek Legacy is not happening at Paramount+, hope remains that the voyages of the USS Enterprise G, commanded by Captain 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan, will eventually be realized, and that Stashwick's Liam Shaw will somehow be resurrected. At STLV Trek to Vegas, Todd Stashwick even offered his witty rationale for Shaw's comeback after he was shot and killed by the Borg. I'd duck. In the realm of science fiction, few franchises have had the kind of cultural impact that Star Trek has had over the decades. The latest addition to this storied saga, Star Trek Picard, has brought back some beloved characters while introducing new faces to the fold. One of these new faces is Todd Stashwick, who plays Captain Liam Shaw, a character who quickly gained popularity for his sharp wit, dry humor, and no-nonsense attitude. The character of Captain Shaw, however, has had an especially interesting dynamic with William Riker, played by Star Trek legend Jonathan Frakes. As one of the most iconic figures from the Next Generation era, Frakes' Riker is practically Star Trek royalty. Enter Stashwick, with his larger-than-life personality and a deep love for Star Trek history. What ensues when these two titans of the Star Trek universe meet off-screen is nothing short of a hilarious, engaging battle of wits. Recently, Todd Stashwick took to social media in a playful rant that took down Jonathan Frakes in what has now become one of the most entertaining exchanges between Star Trek actors. While fans have often seen their characters square off in Picard, this real-world interaction showed that the off-screen chemistry between the actors is just as electric. In this article, we'll explore the hilarious rant, dive into their off-screen banter, and examine the dynamic between Shaw and Riker that has captivated Picard fans. The origins of the rant. A meeting of two Starfleet minds, Stashwick's portrayal of Captain Shaw is that of a man who is competent, direct, and perhaps a bit too rigid for some of his more free-spirited colleagues. His character had friction with Jean-Luc Picard, played by Patrick Stewart, and William Riker, both of whom represent a more classic, heroic archetype in Star Trek canon. Shaw, on the other hand, is almost a postmodern captain. He represents a more grounded, occasionally cynical approach to command, a stark contrast to Riker's devil-may-care confidence and flair. Off-screen, however, the relationship between Stashwick and Frakes is marked by mutual respect, but also a healthy dose of teasing. Stashwick, known for his comedic chops, decided to channel his character's frustration with Riker into a social media rant that quickly went viral. In a video, Stashwick humorously lambasted Frakes for being the ever-charming, ever-confident leader both on and off-screen. He jokingly referred to Frakes as Hollywood's golden boy, mocking the way Riker seemed to waltz through every mission unscathed. With exaggerated frustration, Stashwick pointed out how Riker never seemed to have a bad day. "Oh, look at me, I'm Riker. I'm always right. My beard is perfect. My command decisions are flawless, and everyone loves me." Stashwick quipped, imitating Frakes with exaggerated hand gestures. "Meanwhile, I'm out here trying to run a tight ship, and Riker just shows up, smirks, and somehow everything magically works out for him." The humor behind the rant. One of the reasons why this takedown resonated so well with fans is that it played off of long-standing perceptions of Riker's character. Over the years, Riker has developed a reputation among Star Trek fans as the quintessential cool captain. He's dashing, authoritative, and frequently makes daring decisions with seemingly little to no fallout. His laid-back demeanor, combined with his strategic genius, made him one of the next generation's most beloved characters. Stashwick's Captain Shaw, by contrast, is a character who doesn't have that same effortless command. He's meticulous, cautious, and a little resentful of the more cavalier approach to space exploration. Shaw represents a more realistic depiction of what life as a Starfleet captain might look like: stressful, filled with difficult decisions, and often thankless. By taking down Frakes in his rant, Stashwick wasn't just poking fun at his colleague, he was tapping into a cultural critique of the larger-than-life, infallible heroes of the past. Shaw, in many ways, is the everyman to Riker's legendary status. Stashwick's rant brought this dichotomy to the surface, allowing fans to laugh at the absurdity of the infallible hero archetype while still celebrating Frakes' undeniable charm. Jonathan Frakes' response. A laugh and a nod, Jonathan Frakes, true to form, didn't take long to respond to Stashwick's rant. His response, posted on Twitter, was brief and full of good humor. Frakes simply tweeted, "Guilty as charged," with a winking emoji, followed by the hashtag #RikerAlwaysWins. This light-hearted exchange was a reminder of the camaraderie and mutual respect between the actors. Frakes, a seasoned director and actor who has spent decades in the Star Trek universe, knows how to take a joke. His willingness to lean into Stashwick's playful attack only endeared him further to fans. It also demonstrated that Frakes is as unflappable in real life as Riker is on screen. He can take a ribbing just as easily as he can command a starship. Fan reactions. A fandom rejoices the interaction between Stashwick and Frakes was met with overwhelming positivity from Star Trek fans. Social media was abuzz with comments praising the actors for their playful banter and for showing such a refreshing sense of humor. In a franchise that often takes itself very seriously, moments like these are a reminder that Star Trek is, at its core, a labor of love for everyone involved. Many fans commented on how the dynamic between Stashwick and Frakes mirrored the on-screen tension between their characters. "This is exactly what Shaw would say about Riker," one fan tweeted, while another added, "Stashwick out here channeling all of Shaw's frustrations into this rant. It's hilarious." The rant also helped solidify Todd Stashwick's place in the Star Trek pantheon. For a newer actor in the franchise, he has quickly become a fan favorite, in no small part due to his ability to embrace a network error occurred. Please check your connection and try again. Fan reactions. A fandom rejoices the interaction between Stashwick and Frakes was met with overwhelming positivity from Star Trek fans. Social media was abuzz with comments praising the actors for their playful banter and for showing such a refreshing sense of humor. In a franchise that often takes itself very seriously, moments like these are a reminder that Star Trek is, at its core, a labor of love for everyone involved. Many fans commented on how the dynamic between Stashwick and Frakes mirrored the on-screen tension between their characters. "This is exactly what Shaw would say about Riker," one fan tweeted, while another added, "Stashwick out here channeling all of Shaw's frustrations into this rant. It's hilarious."